Are you tired of not knowing which Dragon Ball movies are canon? Well, I'm here to end that confusion in one video. I'll tell you exactly which movies are definitely canon, so you can skip the ones you don't have time for. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to keep this short and to the point. If you're also wondering which Dragon Ball fillers you can skip, I've got a separate video for that. Make sure to check it out. Before you keep watching, note that there are a few spoilers that must be noted to give more explanation. Now without wasting any more time, let's dive into the 4 Dragon Ball movies. Curse of the Blood Rubies, Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle, Mystical Adventure, and The Path to Power. Before it became Dragon Ball Z, the anime was just called Dragon Ball, like the manga. It was super popular, and they made 4 movies to build on that success. One came out way later. But none of these movies are considered canon since they don't fit the timeline. They just retell parts of the story. Let's move on to the 15th movies of Dragon Ball Z. The first Dragon Ball Z movie, Dead Zone, 1989, is mostly considered canon. It happens about a year before DBZ kicks off. It's one of the few movies that fit with the anime, though not the manga. Even though Cooler's Revenge of 1991 and BoJack Unbound of 1993 aren't canon, they don't really mess with the main DBZ story. In Cooler's Revenge, Goku's still learning to control Super Saiyan, so it could fit in the 3-year gap before the androids. But it's a bit of a stretch since Frieza and King Cold never mention Cooler. BoJack Unbound could have happened right after the Cell games, so while it's not fully canon, it kinda fits into the DBZ story. The rest of the DBZ movies aren't canon, so you can skip them without missing anything important. But as a huge Dragon Ball fan, I still recommend watching them when you've got free time. Honestly, I enjoyed most of them. They're fun, and it's cool to explore new characters and villains, even if they're not canon. Dragon Ball Z, Wrath of the Dragon, is set right after Kid Buu's defeat when the Earth and Z fighters are enjoying some peace. This movie introduced Goku's Dragon Fist attack, which later showed up in Dragon Ball GT. Because of that, some fans consider it canon, though it's still debated. It has a stronger case for being canon than most of the other DBZ movies. With Dragon Ball Super basically replacing GT, it raises questions about whether Wrath of the Dragon is canon. While it doesn't contradict DBZ or Super, Goku hasn't used or mentioned the Dragon Fist in Super since the 2008 short Son Goku and His Friends Return. Toei Animation seems to stick to making canon movies. That short introduced Vegeta's brother Tarble, who was later mentioned in Super, and both Battle of Gods and Resurrection F were adapted into Super's first arcs. Dragon Ball Super Broly is canon because it was written by the late creator Akira Toriyama, while the original DBZ Broly trilogy wasn't. Plus, Super Broly directly follows the Dragon Ball Super anime. If Toei keeps this pattern, the next Dragon Ball Super movie will likely be canon too, as Goku and the Z fighters continue their adventures. In the meantime, you guys can enjoy Superhero Movie, which is also canon and has had its events adapted in the Dragon Ball Super manga. It's similar to how Super Broly was a canon remake of the classic DBZ movies. And for those who can't get enough of the Z fighters, there's a new TV anime out now, though it doesn't have any movies yet. The new anime series, Dragon Ball Daima, is like a canon reimagining of GT, set between DBZ and Super. It follows a similar plot to GT, but with one big difference. Akira Toriyama actually worked on the designs and story for Daima, making it one of his last projects before he passed. It's meant to be canon with all the anime and likely the manga too, which is more than we can say for many of the older DBZ movies. Since Dragon Ball Daima is just starting out, there aren't any movies yet, so it doesn't impact the canon of Dragon Ball movies. But if the series becomes popular and succeeds where Dragon Ball GT struggled, it will likely get its own theatrical releases. The good thing is, these films probably won't get stuck in the debate over which DB movies are canon. Similar to Wrath of the Dragon, the show might include elements that aren't mentioned again. That's what made the whole canon issue with DBZ movies such a hassle, but hopefully the new show will avoid that. If you have a different opinion or recommendations, leave a comment below. And we're reaching the end of this video, so make sure you subscribe and like for more amazing content. Guys, until next time.